Today's script is for those who live the Chargers on the edge. An unexpected window opened in the front seven, with a name from the NFC South that could turbocharge the rotation. A playbook tweak promises to unleash more aggressive passing. A primetime showdown could put a trusted specialist in the history books, and early downs are revealing a bold identity few expected. Each piece changes how to win in 2025, and one tactical adjustment could be the difference maker this week. You won't believe what we've got today, so grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's dive straight into the news. You know when a rumor starts as a whisper and slowly becomes locker room talk. It's the kind of movement that makes scouts stop what they're doing and defensive coordinators revisit third down calls. In the NFC South, a defender with proven burst, a manageable contract, and recent impact could be the missing piece for teams with January in their sights. Think of someone who can squeeze the pocket without losing contain, speed up a quarterback's internal clock, and force an offense to bail on its progressions. This isn't a daydream, it's an opportunity that grows when a season threatens to go sideways. And when a window opens, franchises don't ask whether they should act. They calculate the price and position themselves to strike. The name on the board is DJ Wonnum. He signed with the Carolina Panthers last season, and according to analysis from Bleacher Report, could become a trade chip during 2025 if the franchise hits another skid and opts for a fire sale. The logic is straightforward. Wonnum will be a free agent next offseason. Moving him now nets value and frees up snaps for the young core. Names like Nick Skorton and Princely Umanmielen, while a rebuild gathers steam. In 2024, even in a turbulent context, the Edge posted 37 tackles and 4 sacks in 8 games. Production solid enough to cement his value. One important note, he didn't start in week 1 of 2025, but he played 73% of the defensive snaps. A clear signal, Carolina still sees him as a useful piece. Before that, he spent 3 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings, experience that matters when the calendar flips to January. For the Chargers, the question isn't whether we need this profile, it's how much closer it brings us to January. The linebacker edge room is deep, but a long season demands rotation, and Denzel Perryman is dealing with a physical issue. Wonnum would function as a situational closer, violent first step, consistent arc, and active hands to turn pressure into hits. In sub-packages, he shortens reads, triggers the check down, and turns second and short into third and long. That preserves snap counts for starters and keeps the defense fresh in the fourth quarter. Strategic detail. Next to a maestro like Khalil Mack, offenses are forced to protect both edges, which opens seams inside. Translation for the fan base, more punts, short fields, and easy points for Herbert. The fit with Jim Harbaugh and Jesse Minter is natural. Their vision is to multiply pressure origins without telegraphing anything. Simulated blitzes, interior stunts, late responsibility swaps, and alignment wrinkles that confuse protections. Wonnum has the length to contest windows, the versatility to align wider or tighter, and the discipline to hold contain against mobile quarterbacks. His presence also amplifies the domino effect. A deeper rotation means more aggressive third down calls, less wear on the front, and more leeway to dial up delayed pressure. The room's culture helps too, with Mack as the North Star. Details around hand usage, leverage, and studying opposing tackles scale quickly, turning the entire group into a bigger problem in one-score AFC West games. As for cost, it's a rental with upside, a mid-round pick, likely with conditions tied to production and snaps. Cap is manageable. There's adaptation risk, but the post-Chiefs momentum begs for aggression, and that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. Sometimes fans stare at the sideline and wonder, will the offensive coordinator really let our quarterback cut it loose? That dilemma surrounded Greg Roman's arrival, known for run-heavy frameworks. The doubt was fair. How do you pair Justin Herbert, a rare arm talent, with a playbook traditionally tilted toward the ground game? After a full season of adaptation, the start of 2025 showed signs few expected. Freedom, aggression, and the ball traveling further downfield. It's not a vibe. Numbers tell the story, and the fan base can feel the difference. Against the Kansas City Chiefs, Herbert didn't just beat Patrick Mahomes. He did it with style. He averaged 10.1 intended air yards per attempt, surpassing his career mark of 7.5 and leaving last season's 8.6 behind. That's not a throwaway stat. It's a statement of intent. This offense isn't afraid to attack deep. For anyone who remembers the pain of seeing the attack limited by injuries and a thin roster in 2024, the transformation is almost cathartic. A healthy Herbert, no ankle sprain, no plantar fasciitis, shows rhythm and confidence, and every throw carries the weight of years of fan frustration. Chemistry deserves a spotlight too. Quentin Johnston, a lightning rod last year, finally seems to be translating his athletic profile into consistency. Ladd McConkey, even as a young player, keeps flashing rare maturity at finding holes in complex coverages. Keenan Allen, with veteran savvy and secure hands, completes the trio that gives number 10 both depth and trust. For Greg Roman, that means something simple and powerful. He no longer has to choose between running to protect the quarterback or passing to risk it all. He can balance, and paradoxically, balance opens the door to let Herbert rip even more. The The fan reaction was explosive. Social feeds flooded with deep ball clips, comparisons to iconic performances, and a collective feeling if this is the Herbert we see week after week, the Chargers don't just contend, they intimidate. Steve Spagnuolo's defense knows Herbert as well as anyone and was still peppered vertically. That elevates the win and reinforces the idea that this wasn't random, it was the plan. And more, every deep shot ties directly into the identity Jim Harbaugh wants: aggressive, daring, unafraid to challenge AFC giants. Of course, it's just the beginning. 1 week doesn't define a season, but what we saw against Kansas City was a message to the whole league. The Chargers' offense won't live on conservative calls, and Herbert finally has the freedom to explore the entire field. Strategically, that forces opposing defenses to widen coverages, lightening the box and making Roman's creative calls easier to execute. Emotionally, it means renewed hope in Los Angeles, and that still wasn't the most surprising thing about what's coming next. The win over the Chiefs already sent the fan base into a frenzy, but the NFL never lets you breathe. Next stop, Allegiant Stadium, Monday Night Football, an AFC West classic against the Raiders. Historic rivalry, Vegas lights, tension in the air. It's the kind of game that separates September celebrations from January campaigns. Harbaugh knows that winning pretty once isn't enough. You have to prove consistency, especially in primetime, where every detail becomes a national talking point. And this time, it's not just about offense and defense. History is being written at another position. Cameron Dicker, our trusted kicker since 2022, is on the verge of entering the league's record book. At 25, he has built an almost automatic career. 93 makes in 99 attempts, including a ridiculous 16 from 50-plus yards. Those numbers aren't just good, they're absurd. To put it in perspective, names like Justin Tucker, Harrison Butker, and Chris Boswell, absolute benchmarks at the position, have lower percentages. And now, against the Raiders, Dicker can officially become number one in regular season field goal percentage in NFL history. He just needs one attempt, one jog onto the field to leap past the icons and put the Chargers' shield atop a sacred list. That hits fans right in the feelings. For years, we watched games slip away on crucial misses, the frustration of well-built drives ending in silence after a ball tailed by inches. Dicker became the antidote to that trauma. Confidence, consistency, and ice. When he jogs on, the crowd takes a breath, and seconds later, usually erupts. The chance to immortalize that feeling as a record isn't just a stat, it's symbolic. It shows the team found a rock-solid piece at a historically volatile spot, and that, in tight games, we can trust the 3 points. The strategic impact is even bigger. With Dicker, Jim Harbaugh can tweak calls, knowing that 45, 50, even 55 yards isn't desperation, it's an option. That changes third down decisions, gives the offense freedom to take risks without falling out of range, and pressures defenses that can't just force long kicks, hoping for errors. Against the Raiders, that could be decisive. A one-score game in Vegas is rarely calm, every point is heavy, and an automatic kicker turns middling drives into a concrete lead. Add the extra juice of a historic milestone, and it's easy to imagine a scenario where Dicker is the protagonist. The fan base is already mobilizing. Social media is buzzing about seeing Dicker the kicker at the top of the NFL. Some remember he arrived as an emergency replacement in 2022, and 3 years later could sit above legends. That underdog arc, a player who earned his spot without superstar fanfare, connects with the team's identity under Harbaugh: hard work, trust in the process, and explosive results. The showdown in Las Vegas, then, isn't just another chapter of the rivalry, it's also a coronation stage. And while we're hyped about a record, something even more surprising has been taking shape behind the scenes of the Chargers' offensive identity. When Jim Harbaugh landed in Los Angeles, plenty expected a conservative attack built on heavy runs and short throws. That label has followed him for years. But in the season opener, the script got flipped. Against the Chiefs, Justin Herbert didn't just shine, he set the game on fire. He threw for 318 yards and 3 touchdowns, added 32 on the ground, and outdueled Patrick Mahomes in a divisional clash. The big twist, the offensive identity has truly changed. What looked risky now feels like the boldest, smartest choice Harbaugh could have made. The numbers leave no room for doubt. Last season, through Week 10, the Chargers ranked just 20th in early down pass rate, 49%. A predictable team that rarely scared anyone at the start of drives. Since then, the jump has been massive. Now they sit second behind Kansas City at 63% in that situation. That means Herbert is attacking defenses from snap one, forcing immediate adjustments and opening space for the rest of the playbook. In other words, the Chargers aren't waiting for the game to come to them anymore. They're seizing it. For fans, it's almost cathartic. For years, the narrative was the same: elite talent under center, limited by conservative choices, inconsistent offensive lines, and short benches. Now, with targeted upgrades, healthy receivers, and a clear plan to empower Herbert, it feels like liberation. 10 has the green light to use his elite arm, and the trust Harbaugh and Greg Roman are placing in him radiates through the entire roster. When a head coach breaks out of his own comfort zone, he sends a powerful message: we're here to win, not to survive. Strategically, the impact is massive. Opposing defenses have to back off earlier, which lightens the box and makes the run game cleaner. That creates a virtuous cycle. Deep shots force defenses to retreat, runs gain easier yards, third downs shrink, and drives sustain. On top of that, Herbert's quick processing minimizes turnover risk, even on aggressive calls. For opponents, facing the Chargers is now a constant dilemma: drop to protect the deep ball and give up the run, or pack the box and risk getting torched over the top. There's more. The culture shifts too. Players feel the energy of an offense that believes in itself. The defense, seeing the offense dictate pace, gains the confidence to heat up pressures, knowing the scoreboard can swing back quickly. It's a domino effect that turns a good team into a real contender. For the fan base, it's emotional rocket fuel. Every drive brings not just the expectation of points, but of a show. What used to be anxiety has become anticipation. And the truth is simple: if this is the standard, the Chargers aren't just competing, they're redefining what it means to be a contender in 2025. If you felt the weight of these changes, that's no accident. A real window to reinforce the rotation with a closer and offensive plan that frees Herbert's arm, a Monday night stage where Dicker can climb to the top of the league, and a bold, early down identity few saw coming. That's Harbaugh, all over. Initiative, courage, execution. Now it's about turning trends into habit and stacking wins in the AFC West. Do you believe this week cements the turn? Drop your thoughts. I want to hear you. And if you enjoyed it, smash that like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Tomorrow we're back. Chargers, all the way to January.